When I was 10, my father died in an accident. The lawyer asked me a single question. Did I want to stay with my mother or take the $200 million my father had left behind? In my last life, I cried and screamed for my mother. She took the death compensation and turned right around and married the man next door. Oh, sorry. Uncle Greg. I became the unwanted baggage in their eyes. Just a burden they could not stand to look at. And in the end, I was worked to death. I collapsed on a construction site at the age of 28. Looking back on that pathetic, laughable life, I was a fool. A complete and total fool. But now, fate has given me a second chance. The crossroads stand before me once more. The woman in front of me is sobbing, tears streaming down her face. Howard, why did you leave us? How are me and Damien supposed to survive? She wails until her body crumbles like wet clay. If no one were holding her up, she would collapse straight to the ground. In my last life, this was the act that fooled me. I believed she was truly heartbroken. I believed she could not live without me. So I threw myself at her legs, crying, begging to stay with her. And what happened? She took the death compensation that cost my father his life. And in less than 3 months, she happily remarried. She married Greg Barnes, the man she always claimed was looking after us. My father's ashes were not even cold. That man moved into our home. He slept in the bed my father used to sleep in. And I became the extra one. The eyesore. The child who should not exist. Greg had a son 2 years older than me, who treated me like a thorn in his eye. To win the stepson's favor, my mother Linda either beat me or screamed at me. Day after day, without mercy. The money my father left became their family's ticket to enjoying. It even paid for my stepbrother's girls and his showing off. Meanwhile, I had to scavenge trash just to pay my tuition. I was kicked out before I even finished high school, sent off to work. All under the noble excuse that a boy should learn independence early. I hauled bricks on construction sites for 10 straight years, and in the end, my body gave out. I fell headfirst onto a pile of burning hot steel rods, and I never woke up again. But now, I am reborn. Linda wraps her arms around me. Damien, don't be scared. Mommy will take such good care of you from now on. Her face is smeared with tears and snot, but deep in her eyes something is hiding. Hidden so well everyone almost cannot see it. Urgency, greed. Seeing this, I do not cry the way I did last time. I just watch her perform quietly and coldly. Then my father's best friend walks over. It is also his lawyer too. Uncle Walter, who sighs and pats my shoulder. He then reaches into his briefcase and pulls out a document. Linda, Damien, this is the will Howard left behind. He thought of everything. There is an unusual heaviness in Uncle Walter's voice. Howard prepared for every situation. Under his name is a fortune of $200 million and has been legally notarized. Now there are 2 choices. First, Damien stays with you. The money is held by you as compensation and child support until Damien comes of age. The moment Linda hears this, her breathing quickens. A terrifying light bursts from her eyes. She stares at the will, locked on it like a hawk. Second, if Damien chooses not to stay with you, the money will go into a trust fund under my supervision. Damien will be the sole owner, and you, Linda, will receive nothing. The air freezes in an instant. Every pair of eyes in the room turns, all focused on me, a 10-year-old boy. Linda's body goes rigid. She glares at Walter as if to say, "How dare you offer this choice?" Then she snaps into her grief-stricken performance again. She clutches me hard against her chest. "Walter, how can you say such a thing? How could I ever give up my own son? Damien is my whole life," she wails. And while she wails, she pinches my arm. She hisses in my ear, vicious and low. "Damien, you say one wrong word and I will beat you to death. You are my son, your money is my money." In my last life, those words made me tremble all over, and I was moved by her "Mommy can't live without you." But now I just feel waves of nausea. I can feel her hand trembling as she pinches me, not from grief, but from excitement, from tension. 200 million. She has never seen that kind of money in her entire life. She is already fantasizing about life after the cash, fantasizing about her perfect future with Greg. Slowly, inch by inch, I pull myself away, out of her suffocating embrace. Once I am free, I lift my head. I meet Walter's stunned eyes. Word by word, clear as crystal, I speak. "Uncle Walter, I choose the second option. I choose the 200 million. The entire funeral hall falls into dead silence. Everyone could hear a pin drop. They are frozen, like someone pressed pause, staring at me with mouths hanging open. The grief on Linda's face freezes instantly. Then it cracks, piece by piece, until it twists into raw, vicious fury. Linda shrieks, "Damien, what did you just say?" Her voice is sharp enough to pierce eardrums. Calmly, I say it again. Not loud, but every word drives in like a nail. I said, "I don't want you. I want the money." Linda screams, "Are you insane? You ungrateful brat? I am your mother." Linda completely loses control. She lunges at me like a madwoman. Her hand raises to strike my face, but her wrist is caught by a large hand. The hand belongs to Walter, whose face is iron cold. "Linda, please calm yourself. This is Howard's funeral hall, and this was Damien's own choice. What does a child know? You must have put him up to this." Walter throws her hand off in disgust. "I will say it one more time. This is Howard's will. It has full legal effect. Since Damien has made his choice, I will begin the legal procedures immediately. From this moment on, you are no longer his legal guardian." Linda is utterly stunned. She stares at me, her eyes full of venom, like she is looking at a mortal enemy. She probably cannot understand how her timid, obedient son could suddenly become this cold and strange. I do not bother with her. I walk over to Walter. and tug at his sleeve. Uncle Walter, did my dad already know? Hearing my words, Walter's body jolts hard. He crouches down and looks into my eyes. After a long pause, he nods, full of sorrow. Your dad was a brilliant man. He loved you so much. That one sentence turns my eyes red. Yes, my dad was so sharp. How could he not have seen Linda for what she was? He just wanted me to have a whole family. So he endured it in silence, until he was diagnosed with a terminal illness and his time ran short. Only then did he pave this escape route for me. The me of the last life was so stupid. With my own hands, I destroyed the last gift of my father's love. This time, I will not be wrong. I choose the 200 million. In the end, the relatives drag Linda away. The hateful look in her eyes as she leaves is carved into my memory forever. But I do not care, not even a little. The moment I made my choice, the bond between us was severed. All that remains is hatred. Walter becomes my new guardian. He is an honest, reliable man. After my father's funeral, Walter takes me home to live with him. He shows me a long investment list. Projects my dad researched with him before he died. But I flip straight to the last page. Uncle Walter, sell everything on the front pages. Walter is shocked. Damien, these are all blue chip stocks. Your father handpicked them. They are incredibly stable. I shake my head. Too slow. I extend my finger. I point to the list. To a few unremarkable names. Put everything into these companies. Walter frowns. Penglo Tech, Skytrade Holdings. What are these companies? I have never even heard of them. Damien, investing is not a game. Uncle Walter, do you trust my dad? He freezes for a moment. Of course I do. He nods. Then trust me this once, my dad told me in a dream. It is the lamest excuse I can come up with. But Walter looks into my eyes that are far too calm and mature for a 10-year-old child. And somehow, against all reason, he nods. What he does not know is this. The names I just pointed to will shake the entire world over the next 10 years. They will become the most massive business empires on the planet, and I will be the most mysterious shareholder behind them all. With everything arranged, I finally relax. I set myself a brand new life goal. Take it easy. Yes, just coast through life. Last lifetime, I worked myself to death. This lifetime, I am going to live in comfort. I have Walter find me the best private school. Not to grind out studies, just because the environment is nice and the cafeteria food is good. I start hitting the gym. Not for any reason other than that I can have an 8-pack and chiseled abs someday. And clothes look good on me. I start studying the 8 great cuisines of China. I learn to brew my own wine. Not to become a chef, just to satisfy my own appetite. I dump every troublesome matter onto Walter. Later I dump them onto the professional team Walter helps me build. The man leading the team is named Marcus. A Wall Street elite I poached with triple the salary. I have only one rule for him. Do not bother me. Handle your own problems. If you cannot handle it, let it go bankrupt. Marcus looked at me back then like I was the village idiot heir blowing through the family fortune. But he carried out my orders faithfully. So my life becomes this. Boss, Penglo Tech's stock just tripled again. We made 5 billion. Got it. Don't bother me. I am studying recipes. Boss, Skytrade Holdings is about to go public. Our original shares are projected to break 100 billion. Got it. Now come look at this new batch of rice wine I brewed. Boss, that piece of land you bought on a whim last time. The government is turning it into the new central business district. Its value just shot up 100 times. Marcus gradually gets used to my slacker mode. He even starts filtering out for me the unimportant billion-dollar deals. And I just keep going further down the path of taking it easy. The wealth under my name snowballs like crazy. But I am numb to the numbers. I'm only interested in how to make my life more comfortable. I become a mysterious legend in the top billionaire circles. Nobody knows who I am. All they know is there is a mysterious Mr. Vance, wealthier than nations, a ghost no one ever sees. Until the year I turn 18. A woman appears, shattering my peaceful, easy life. Vivian Sinclair, my former fiancée. My engagement with Vivian Sinclair was a childhood arrangement made by our grandfathers. After my dad died, our family fell from grace, and nobody mentioned the engagement again. But no one expected that the fortune my dad left would ferment over 10 years into a massive business empire. Even though I deliberately kept a low profile, the Vance family's return to power caught the Sinclair family's attention. So on the day of my 18th birthday, old Mr. Sinclair brought his precious granddaughter to my door himself, under the noble pretext of honoring the original engagement. The first time I see Vivian Sinclair is in Walter's living room. She wears a tailored white suit dress. Her long hair is pulled back without a single strand out of place. Her makeup is subtle and precise. She is beautiful, certainly, but she is also like an iceberg, radiating a chill that says stay away. She is the textbook image of a powerful woman, groomed as the family heir, rational, strong, calm. Rumor has it she had a double doctorate by 20, took over the family business at 22, ruthless in her methods. Even seasoned business sharks fear her. In her world there is only career, profit, and data. Emotions are the most useless weakness in her view. Damien, right? She sits across from me, legs crossed. Her eyes scan me up and down like an x-ray, filled with open scrutiny and contempt. I just came back from the gym wearing loose workout clothes. My hair is still damp with sweat. I lazily grunt a response, lean back on the sofa, grab an apple, and start chewing on it. My attitude clearly displeases her. Her brow furrows. I hear you stopped studying after high school. Yep, school was too tiring. So what do you do now? Work out, cook, brew wine, figure out how to lounge around more comfortably. I tell her the honest truth. The corner of Vivian's mouth curls into a mocking arc. So you are just a trust fund brat with nothing to do. You could put it that way. I shrug, unbothered. She lets out a cold laugh. Her eyes fill with deeper contempt. Damien, let's cut to the chase. This engagement was a joke between our grandfathers. It cannot be taken seriously. My husband must be a man who can stand at my side as an equal, not a useless slob who only eats, drinks, and plays. So, I look at her with interest. So I want you to go to my grandfather yourself and tell him to call off the engagement. She speaks like she is giving an order. As compensation, I can give you a sum of money, or I can arrange a cushy position for you at our company. I almost spit out the apple in my mouth. Give me money? Arrange a position for me? How ridiculous. The Sinclair group she is so proud of is not even a rounding error of my wealth in my eyes. I look at her arrogant face. Suddenly, I find this funny. In my last life, I did not even have the standing to meet her. This life, she sits across from me, offering charity. I wipe my mouth and smile sweetly. Sure. Vivian pauses, surprised I agreed so easily. What kind of compensation do you want? She returns to her cold face. I don't want money. I don't want a job either. I stand up and walk over to her. I lean down close to her ear. She instinctively wants to lean back, but her body freezes. I can smell the cold perfume on her skin. I lower my voice. At a volume only the two of us can hear, I say, I want you to go to your grandfather yourself and tell him you are not worthy of me. Vivian's pupils contract sharply. She has probably never heard anything that arrogant in her entire life. She shoves me away and stands up. Her pretty face flushes red with rage. Damien, don't push it. Push it? Respect is earned. It is not handed to you. I sit back down on the sofa and cross my legs. Miss Sinclair, you look down on me first, isn't that right? She glares down at me. What can people like you do besides being born into money? Idle all day. Just drifting around waiting to die. What is the difference between you and a parasite? The difference is, I am happy. I spread my hands. My life. My call. Not like some people, living like a precision machine, calculating profit and loss on every emotion. My words clearly strike a nerve. Her face pales. She clenches her fists. We are not on the same path. I will go and cancel the engagement. From this day forward, we have nothing to do with each other. She turns and walks out without looking back. That proud silhouette is like a defeated swan that refuses to bow its head. Walter steps out of his study. His face is full of worry. Damien, wasn't that too rash? The Sinclair family has serious influence in the capital. Uncle Walter, don't worry. She is the one who wanted to break the engagement. I didn't chase her away. Besides, someone who cannot even decide her own marriage. How much can she really? I didn't chase her away. Besides, someone who cannot even decide her own marriage. How much can she really? I look in the direction Vivian disappeared. Not a ripple in my eyes. In my last life, she was the moon hanging high in the sky. I did not even have the right to look up at her. This life, in my eyes, she is just a pitiful woman trapped by her family. I look forward to seeing what kind of collapse she will show. It will be very entertaining. The engagement drama dies down fast. Vivian keeps her word. Within days, the Sinclair family officially announces the engagement is off. I welcome the peace and quiet. I keep coasting through life. Marcus's calls still come in like clockwork every day, reporting how many small goals of millions I just made. My personal wealth has swollen to a terrifying number I cannot even be bothered to calculate. But I still wear cheap workout clothes every day, drive an ordinary commuter car, and move between the gym and the market, until one day, in a dessert shop on the verge of closing, I meet an angel. It is a tiny shop tucked deep in an old alley, decorated in old-world style, selling traditional Chinese desserts that are nearly lost to time. I am drawn in by the handwritten wooden sign at the door. Today's special, osmanthus chestnut cake. This was the dessert my dad loved making for me when I was little. I push open the door. A wind chime rings out crisply. A girl in a pale green dress steps out from the kitchen. Her long hair falls to her waist. Her face is bare. A flicker of startled confusion crosses her features. The moment I see her, my heart skips a beat. It is a strange, wonderful feeling. She is not striking and aggressive like Vivian. She is like a pool of clear spring water. Pure, clean. One look at her and you feel at peace. Is there still some osmanthus chestnut cake? I ask. My voice comes out a little dry. The girl blinks, then breaks into a gentle smile, like a spring breeze across a lake, ripples spreading outward. Yes, please have a seat. I will bring it right out. Her voice is lovely too, soft and sweet. I find a seat by the window and sit down. Soon she walks over carrying a delicate plate of pastries. She sets it down in front of me. The chestnut cakes are shaped into plum blossoms, topped with crystalline osmanthus sugar. The sweet fragrance is irresistible. I pick one up and put it in my mouth. This is it. The exact same taste. Just like my dad made it. A warm current rises from deep in my chest. My eyes mist over without warning. How is it? Is it good? The girl sits down across from me, propping her chin on her hands, looking at me with hopeful eyes. It's amazing, I say sincerely. Exact same taste as my dad's. Really? Her eyes light up. This recipe was passed down from my grandmother. She told me very few people still know how to make it. Your grandmother must have been an amazing person. She puffs out her chest proudly. She was. I'm Lily. This shop is mine. And you? I'm Damien. We talk like old friends who have known each other for years. I learn her family has deep roots. Her ancestors were imperial chefs, so she has been steeped in these traditional crafts since childhood. She does not like the 9-to-5 corporate life, so she opened this little shop. just to keep these beautiful flavors alive. When chatting, I find her values are shockingly close to mine. We both love a slow-paced life, both nearly stubborn in our love for traditional culture. That afternoon, I sit in that tiny dessert shop, talking with her for hours and hours. Sunlight pours through the window onto her, painting her in a layer of golden light. I watch the way her eyes shine when she talks, the little smiles that slip out without her noticing. Somewhere inside me, something is being filled in. Suddenly I feel it. That old, hardened heart of mine, aged by rebirth, is starting to soften again. From that day on, Lily's dessert shop becomes my new home base. I go every single day, without fail. Sometimes for a new dessert she just created. Sometimes for a cup of tea she brewed by hand. Most of the time, I just sit there quietly and watch her work. She is busy, because she runs the shop alone. Prep, cooking, serving customers, cleaning. She does it all herself. But she never complains. She always wears a contented smile. I start helping her, first with washing dishes, then prepping vegetables. Eventually, she even lets me into her kitchen to watch her make desserts. Her kitchen is small, but spotlessly organized. Every utensil placed neatly in its spot. She works with full focus, like a devoted artist. Watching those delicate hands turn ordinary ingredients into tiny masterpieces is a kind of bliss. One day, I am helping her carry a heavy sack of flour. I just finished a workout, so I am only wearing a tight athletic tank top. Lily stands behind me, watching the muscles flex as I strain. Her cheeks flush pink. "Damien, you have such a great body." I set the flour down and turn around. I puff out my chest on purpose. "Do you want to feel?" I expect her to blush and run away. Instead, she actually reaches out a hand. Cool fingertips, faintly sweet from glutinous rice, gently poke at the grooves of my abs. "Wow, they're so firm." She gasps like she just discovered a new world with her eyes wide. My whole body tightens instantly. A wave of heat shoots from my belly straight to my head. I have lived 2 lifetimes, and this is the first time a girl has ever teased me like this. Looking at her innocent, curious face, I do not know whether to laugh or cry. I catch her mischievous hand. Her hand is so soft, like there are no bones in it. I lower my voice and lean close to her ear. Her face flushes scarlet in an instant, like a ripe apple. She yanks her hand back, spins around, and bolts out of the kitchen. I watch her fleeing back. I cannot help but laugh. This girl is just too cute. Our relationship warms a little more each day. We have endless things to talk about. Food, wine, opera. I discover she is a treasure trove, always surprising me with something new. She can play the Chinese zither and paints ink wash paintings. She even makes her own rouge. She is like a noble lady who walked straight out of ancient times, radiating classical grace from head to toe. When I am with her, the whole world slows down, becomes quiet and beautiful. My heart, which only wanted to coast, starts to stir. I start looking forward to seeing her every day. Looking forward to her smile. Looking forward to bickering with her. Looking forward to the small, unconscious things she does. I even start thinking, if every day from now on had her by my side, that might not be so bad. I give her dessert shop a personal nickname, the Royal Kitchen, and she gives me a nickname too, the Lazy Landlord. She says I do nothing all day, just show up to collect rent, and hog all her best desserts. I know there is just a thin sheet of paper between us now, and what punches through that paper is an accident. That day, a spoiled rich kid pulls up in a sports car. He takes one look at Lily and decides he wants her. He has slicked back hair, a greasy face, and a vulgar mouth. He demands to buy out the entire shop on the spot and have Lily entertain him. Lily refuses, of course. The rich kid flies into a rage. He starts trashing the shop. He smashes a lot of things. I am in the back kitchen working on a new recipe. Hearing the noise outside, I rush out immediately and see the shop is in ruins. Lily's small face is white with fear. A rage explodes inside me. In 2 whole lifetimes, I have never been this angry. I step in front of Lily, cold eyes locked on the punk. "Get out! Who the hell are you, sticking your nose in my business?" The punk jabs his finger at my face. I do not say a word. I just take out my phone and call Marcus. "Marcus, run me a license plate. In 5 minutes, I want him and his family's company wiped off the map in the capital." The punk freezes, then explodes into wild laughter. "You are killing me. You think this is a movie? 5 minutes to disappear my family? Do you know who my father is?" I just look at him quietly, like I'm looking at a dead man. In less than 3 minutes, his phone rings. He answers. The grin freezes on his face. "What? Dad? What did you say? The company accounts are frozen? All our partnerships canceled? How is that possible? Who did we offend?" His voice shakes with terror. Then he drops to his knees with a thud. The phone slips from his hand. He looks up at me with the eyes of someone seeing a monster. His lips tremble, but no words come out. "Can you leave now?" I say lightly. He scrambles out on his hands and knees. He does not even bother to take his flashy sports car. The shop falls quiet again. Lily stares at me. Her beautiful eyes are full of shock and a trace of awe. You. I turn around to face her. My heart aching, I wipe the tears from her face. "Don't be scared, I'm here." Without waiting for her to react, I lower my head and kiss her cool lips. Her lips are exactly as soft as I imagined, carrying the gentle sweetness of osmantha sugar. At first she freezes, like a startled deer. Then slowly she relaxes, and clumsily she kisses me back. The kiss is light, gentle, but it strikes my heart like a bolt of electricity. After a long moment, I reluctantly let her go. She lowers her head. Her face is so red, redder than a tomato. She does not dare look at me. "Lily." I cup her face and make her meet my eyes. I speak with full seriousness. Will you be my girlfriend? She bites her lip. Her long lashes flutter like butterfly wings. After a long moment, she gives a tiny as soft as a mosquito's hum. I smile, like a fool. I pull her tight into my arms. I feel like I have the whole world. In 2 lifetimes, this is the first time I have ever felt what it means to fall in love, what it means to be happy. She presses against my chest and mumbles, "You were so scary just now. Did I scare you? One phone call and you can ruin an entire company? Damien, who are you, really?" I look into her clear, innocent eyes. I know I cannot hide it from her anymore. I told you, I am a lazy landlord. I tap her nose. I just happen to own a lot of land. I tell her my story, carefully chosen pieces of it. Of course, I do not tell her about the rebirth. I just say my father left me a large inheritance and I used it to make some investments and earned a little bit of money. Lily blinks. A little bit of money can bankrupt a company in 5 minutes? Just how little is this little bit? I think for a moment. I put it in a way she can grasp. Well, I could probably buy tens of thousands of your dessert shops. Lily sucks in a sharp breath. She counts on her fingers for a long moment. Then she looks at me, completely stunned. You are 100 billionaire? I nod. She falls silent. My heart wavers. I am afraid she will pull away because of the enormous gap between our worlds. But after a long silence, she suddenly lifts her head. Serious face. Damien, listen carefully. From now on, your money is my money, and my money is still my money. I stare for a beat, then burst out laughing. I scoop her up and spin her in circles. Whatever you say, head of my royal kitchen. She is dizzy from the spinning. She can only hold onto my neck, laughing like silver bells. I know I have not chosen wrong. Lily loves me for who I am, not the glitter that comes with me. After being with Lily, my easy life becomes full of color. We invent new desserts together, brew new wine together. She drags me through the morning markets, arguing with vendors over a penny until her face turns red. I take her to Michelin 3-star restaurants so she can taste flavors from around the world. She loves to touch my abs, says they feel great, like a washboard. I love the look in her eyes when she gets emotional, and I love watching her cheeks flush pink with shyness. We are sweet and clingy, like any couple in love. Marcus says he is going to die from the lovey-dovey display every single day. Boss, this is the Universal Holdings acquisition deal. You need to sign it. Just leave it there. I am making Lily a rock sugar pear soup first. Boss, this is a dinner invitation from European royalty. Decline it. I am taking Lily to see a movie. Boss, Ms. Sinclair from the Sinclair Group wants to meet with you. She wants to discuss a deal. When Marcus says Ms. Sinclair, he glances at me carefully. My hand pauses. Vivian Sinclair. I have not heard that name in a long time. I say lightly, what does she want with me? Marcus explains, the Sinclair Group is having cash flow problems. They need a major investment urgently. They heard about Vance Capital and want to seek a partnership with us. Vance Capital is the investment firm I had Marcus set up, the smallest, most invisible corner of my massive business empire. But even that small corner is a giant the Sinclair Group must look up to. How the tables have turned. The arrogant Ice Queen CEO, who once said I was not worthy of her, now has to come begging me for investment. The corner of my mouth lifts into an amused smile. Tell her, if she wants to talk, she comes to my royal kitchen herself. The royal kitchen? The dessert shop? Marcus looks lost. Tell her to bring her proposal. I want to see how sincere she is. I really want to see what kind of expression Vivian will have when she sees me with Lily. When she sees that the useless slob she once despised has become someone she must look up to. I am getting more and more excited. When Vivian arrives, I am in the back kitchen, making Lily's favorite crab roe soup dumplings. I am wearing a white chef's coat with an apron tied around my waist, flour still dusting my hands. Lily is wrapped around my waist from behind like a little cat, her chin resting on my shoulder, stealing bites of the crab roe I just steamed while ordering me around. These pleats look ugly. Do it over. Ah, the soup is going to leak out, you dummy. This one passes. I, the head of the kitchen, approves. I let her be. Every so often I turn my head to kiss her cheek. The kitchen is full of the aroma of food and the sweetness in the air between us. This is the moment Vivian pushes the door open. Today she wears a black business suit. Her hair is still swept up without a strand out of place. Her face shows exhaustion and anxiety, but she is still trying hard to maintain her Ice Queen CEO composure. When she sees the scene in front of her, her whole body turns to stone. In her wildest dreams, she could not have imagined that the legendary, untouchable, all-powerful boss behind Vance Capital would turn out to be the useless slob she once despised. And even more impossible to imagine, that this useless slob is right now wearing an apron in a tiny dessert shop kitchen, cooking food for a girl with his own hands, while that girl holds him intimately in a posture that says, he is mine. Vivian's face instantly turns ghost white. Those always calm, always rational eyes fill with shock and confusion, and a trace of disarray she does not even notice in herself. Miss Sinclair, you're here. I pretend to just notice her, then wipe my hands, untie my apron, and greet her without warmth or coldness. Lily peeks her head out from behind me, sizing up Vivian, then whispers to me, Damien, who is she? She looks scary. Just someone here to beg. I smile and pinch her nose. Lily cannot hold back her laugh. Vivian's face goes from white to green to red in rapid succession. She clenches her fists, fingernails digging deep into her palms. She grinds out the words through her teeth. Damien, don't push your luck. Push my luck. I raise an eyebrow. Miss Sinclair, if I remember correctly, you were the one who said we had nothing to do with each other. And now you show up at my door. If not to beg, what are you here for? I I take Lily by the hand and lead her outside. I set a basket of steaming hot soup dumplings in front of her. Try them, fresh out of the steamer. Then I slowly turn to look at Vivian, gesture for her to sit. Miss Sinclair, have a seat, say what you came to say. My tone is dismissive and casual, like I am brushing off some unimportant nobody. This is nothing like the business negotiation she imagined. No tension, no verbal sparring, just crushing dominance. Raw, total, complete. Vivian takes a deep breath and forces herself to calm down. She pulls out a chair and sits across from me. She then takes a thick file out of her bag and pushes it toward me. Mr. Vance, this is the Sinclair Group's 5-year development plan, along with our financing proposal for this round. I am hoping. Stop! I raise my hand and cut her off. Miss Sinclair, I think you have something confused. What? Right now you are begging me. I am not begging you. I lean back in my chair and speak slowly. I have no interest in your plan. I only want to ask you one question. I point to Lily beside me, then point to myself. Do you think she and I are a good match? Vivian's body jolts hard. She looks at me, then at Lily beside me, who is nibbling on a soup dumpling with a happy little face. Her lips move, but no words come out. A good match? The question is like a dagger driven straight into her proud heart. The man before her is handsome, wealthy, powerful, yet willing to hold an ordinary girl's hand and sit at the stove for her. The tenderness in his eyes is a gentleness she has never seen. And that girl, though plainly dressed, has a clean smile, clear eyes, radiating the kind of happiness that comes from being completely loved. Together they look like a painting of peaceful, beautiful days. And her, wearing an expensive suit, holding a thick proposal, sitting here like a clown, begging this man for a scrap of mercy. Once upon a time, she was the one standing in front of him, using a charitable tone to tell him to get out of her world. And now, the tables have turned. A massive wave of irony and regret drowns her. Her pride, her reason are shattered in this moment. She forces herself to speak, her voice hoarse, unrecognizable. You are well matched. Is that so? I smile. But I remember someone once said I was useless, like a parasite, not worthy of her. The last trace of color drains from Vivian's face. She knows I am humiliating her, throwing her own words back at her, unaltered. Damien, I admit I was blind back then. She closes her eyes, as if drawing on every ounce of strength. I apologize to you, but business is business, and personal is personal. This partnership is truly important to the Sinclair Group. I am begging you. Begging me, Miss Sinclair, in what capacity do you beg me? As my former fiancé or as a defeated rival? Lily sits beside me, lost in the conversation, but she is smart enough not to interrupt. She quietly drops another soup dumpling into my bowl, and with those clear eyes, she silently shows me her support. That tiny gesture is what finally breaks Vivian's defenses completely. She sees the wordless understanding between us, the intimacy fused into our bones, the kind of closeness that feels as natural as breathing. Something she will never have. She always thought she was chasing the peak of her career, the highest power. But until today, she did not realize when she stands at the top looking down on the world, how empty and cold her heart truly is. She won the whole world, but she lost the only person who could have kept her warm. Damien? She speaks again, her voice carrying a sob now. I'm begging you, please. She is crying. The always aloof, ice-cold Vivian Sinclair is actually crying. Tears slide down her flawless cheeks, dripping onto the proposal she was so proud of, spreading into a wet stain. I watch her quietly, without a trace of satisfaction, only complete indifference. In my last life, I might have softened at her tears. Not now. I pick up the proposal. Without even looking at it, I drop it straight into the trash bin beside me. Miss Sinclair! I stand up. I look down at her from above. I have no interest in acquiring a company about to go bankrupt, especially when the owner of that company is you. Then I look at her no longer. I take Lily's hand and walk back into the kitchen. Behind me, Vivian's uncontrollable, breaking sobs follow. I know that from this day on, this woman's pride has been crushed under my hand. But this is only the beginning. Vivian leaves in a daze. I do not bother to follow up on what happens to her, because a more disgusting person comes knocking. Linda Carter, my biological mother. She somehow finds out about Lily's dessert shop, and shows up right at the door. 10 years have passed, and she has aged dramatically, and worn thin. The once still attractive woman now has wrinkles crawling around her eyes, silver hairs scattered through her hair. She wears cheap street market clothes. Her face is full of crude calculation. One look tells me she and Greg have not been doing well. In my last life, they spent my father's money recklessly. Greg picked up a gambling habit. They blew through the entire fortune fast. This life, without my father's money, I can imagine things have been even harder for them. The moment she sees me, she lunges at me, trying to hug me the way she did 10 years ago. I dodge sideways in disgust. Damien, my dear son, Mommy finally found you. She launches into her crying and wailing act again. Say what you came to say. I speak coldly. If you have nothing to say, get lost. Damien, how can you speak to me like that? Mommy knows you still blame me, but Mommy had her reasons back then. Your Uncle Greg and I, we have suffered so much these years. He was cheated in business and owes a mountain of debt. We can barely afford food right now. Damien, you've made something of yourself now. You can't just abandon your mother. She wipes her tears and starts pouring out her misery. She is about to drop to her knees. I frown. Lily walks out from the shop. Seeing the scene, she does not know what to do. Damien, who is this? A nobody. I shield Lily behind me. I do not want her tainted by this filthy scene. Linda shrieks. She points at Lily. How am I a nobody? I am his mother, his real mother. Who are you? Some homewrecker trying to seduce my son after our family's money, aren't you? Lily's face instantly pales upon hearing this. My face turns completely dark, word by word my voice cold as ice. I will say it once more, get lost. I won't! Damien, you have to give me money today. 1 million, no, 10 million, otherwise I'm not leaving. I'll sue you too. Sue you for abandoning your own mother. Linda starts throwing a tantrum. She thinks I am still the pushover she can manipulate. She thinks I care about my reputation, about what others think. She is wrong. I look at her ugly face. Suddenly I smile. Fine, I say. You want to sue me? I'll give you that chance. I take out my phone. I call Marcus again. Marcus, get me the best legal team in the capital, and reach out to the biggest media outlets. I am holding a press conference. The topic is me and my biological mother settling our accounts from all these years. Linda freezes. She did not expect that her threats would not work on me. Instead, I am about to blow this up. You wouldn't dare! Her words are bold, but her face shows fear. Watch me. I put away my phone and sneer. Linda, you probably forgot how I chose 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I gave you up for money. 10 years later, I can ruin you completely just for some peace and quiet. You like putting on a show, don't you? Fine, I'll build you a bigger stage, and you can perform to your heart's content. My eyes look at her like she is a corpse. Linda feels her skin crawl. She finally realizes the son in front of her is no longer someone she can control. He is a demon colder and more ruthless than she ever was. She points at me, struggling for a long moment. Finally unable to bear the crushing pressure, she scurries away in shame. The world is finally quiet again. Damien! Lily takes my hand, worried. Was she really your mother? She was. I turn my hand and clasp hers, lift it to my lips and kiss it. Not anymore. From now on, my only family is you. Lily looks at me. Tears of tenderness shine in her eyes. She does not ask anything more. She rises on her toes and gives me a warm embrace. Don't be afraid. You have me now. I hold her, and I feel the shadows, the last life left in my heart, slowly being chased away by her sunlight. Yes, I still have Lily, and that is enough. I thought Linda would back off after I scared her away, but I still underestimated her shamelessness. A few days later, the internet is suddenly flooded with smear pieces about me. Mysterious billionaire Damien Vance exposed as heartless social climber, abandons his own mother to marry into wealth. Shocking secret, 100 billionaire built his fortune by bleeding his own mother dry. Devoted mother's tearful plea, my son has been stolen by a gold-digging seductress. Article after article, dripping with fake tears, paints me as an ungrateful, money-grubbing, beauty-blinded traitor, and Linda becomes the pitiful mother who suffered to raise her child, only to be abandoned. Lily naturally becomes the homewrecker who ruined the mother-son bond. There are even a few stolen photos of Lily and me eating at a small street shop. The public uproar is instant. Countless uninformed netizens are stirred up by these fake stories. They launch a wave of online harassment against me. My name hits the trending topics for the first time, in the worst way possible. Some extreme netizens even dox Lily's dessert shop. They splash paint at the door, throw trash, and curse her as a shameless mistress. Lily is terrified. For days she does not dare open the shop. She hides in my arms, tears falling, full of hurt. I hold her, my heart aching beyond words. Damien, I didn't do anything. I'm not a homewrecker. I know you're not. Don't be afraid, I'll handle everything. The murderous intent in my eyes has never been this thick. Linda, Greg, you really did it this time. I was content to let you rot on your own, but you had to come and provoke me. Then don't blame me for being ruthless. I have Marcus investigate. The results come back fast. Behind it all are indeed Linda and Greg. They hired a third-rate marketing firm, bought paid trolls with cash, and staged this whole show. What surprises me more is that behind it all is also a shadow of Vivian. She did not participate directly, but the public relations firm under her name played a major role in pushing this storm forward. Well done. One is my shameless biological mother. The other is my bitter former fiancé. Since you two enjoy joining hands so much, I will send you down together. I do not rush to clear my name. I do not try to take down the trending topics. I let the public opinion keep boiling. I want them to climb as high as possible so the fall hurts more. 3 days later, just as the online attacks against me reach their peak, I hold the press conference I prepared for Linda. The location is the largest ballroom of the most exclusive 7-star hotel in the capital. I invite hundreds of mainstream media outlets from across the country, a scale that has never been seen before. I have Linda brought to the scene. She probably thinks I am about to back down, about to pay her off and end this. There is a smug smile on her face. Vivian also comes. She sits in an inconspicuous corner, wanting to see how I will end this. I am wearing a tailored handmade suit, holding Lily's hand as we walk in. Lily looks a little nervous. Her palms are sweating. I give her a reassuring smile. The camera flashes go wild. I clear my throat. Facing the countless microphones and cameras, I speak my first sentence. Hello everyone, I am Damien Vance. I asked you all here today because I want to tell you a story about a choice. I tell them the story of when I was 10, exactly as it happened. From my father's will, to Linda's threats, to the choice I ultimately made. I tell it calmly, without a flicker of emotion, like I am narrating something that has nothing to do with me. But the entire room falls into dead silence. Every reporter is stunned. None of them expected the truth to be such an explosive reversal. Linda's face turns ghost white instantly. She tries to rush forward and argue, but is held down hard by the security I arranged. Of course, words alone prove nothing. I snap my fingers. The large screen behind me lights up. An audio recording begins to play. It is Linda's threat in my ear 10 years ago at the funeral hall. You say one wrong word and I will beat you to death. You are my son. Your money is my money. The voice is crystal clear. I had Walter pull it from the recorder he used to carry on him. My father was suspicious by nature. Just in case, Walter recorded all the conversations from that day. He never imagined it would come in handy today. The moment the recording plays, the room erupts. Every camera flash turns toward Linda, whose face is now the color of ash. Linda screams wildly. It's fake. It's synthesized. I smile. Fake? Then is this also fake? The screen switches. A video begins to play. Less than a month after my father's death, Linda and Greg are at a high-end restaurant, raising glasses in celebration. Linda, I told you, that kid is an idiot. He'll definitely choose you. He's the son I gave birth to. Of course I know him. Once we get that 200 million, we'll travel around the world. Come on, a toast to our beautiful future. In the video, the two are laughing brilliantly, painfully bright. This footage I had Marcus recover using special means from the restaurant's surveillance system. Ironclad evidence. Linda can no longer deny anything. She collapses to the floor like a pile of mud. It's not over yet, I say coldly. The screen keeps showing new evidence. Greg's gambling IOUs, records of them selling off my father's belongings, even testimony from neighbors about how they abused me as a child. One by one, piece by piece. Shocking and undeniable. The so-called devoted mother, the so-called hidden suffering, in the face of ironclad facts, becomes the biggest joke imaginable. The entire press conference becomes a public execution of Linda and Greg. And from start to finish, I am only a calm bystander. The screen freezes on a single document. Declaration of severance of mother-to-son relationship. I pick up the microphone. I, Damian Vance, hereby officially declare, my voice carries across the entire room. From this day forward, I sever all ties with Ms. Linda Carter. From now on, in sickness and in health, in marriage and in death, we have nothing to do with each other. Additionally, I pause. My gaze sweeps to Vivian in the corner. For all individuals and organizations that participated in this malicious smear campaign against me and my fiancée MS Lily, my legal team will pursue full legal responsibility. This includes the public relations firm under the Sinclair Group. Vivian's body jolts hard. She raises her head to meet my icy gaze. The color drains from her face. She knows this is my declaration of war. She also knows she has lost. Lost beyond recovery. The press conference becomes the front page headlines of every media outlet that night. Public opinion flips in an instant. One trending topic after another bombards the platforms. Linda and Greg become public pariahs, hated by everyone. They face not only moral condemnation but also legal consequences. Fraud, child abuse, falsified evidence. Enough to keep them rotting in prison for the rest of their lives. The Sinclair Group is also dragged in. Their stock price crashes 30% overnight, on the verge of bankruptcy. Vivian is overwhelmed. She begs everywhere for help, but is turned away at every door. After all, no one dares to offend me at this moment. She finally tastes the bitterness of being abandoned by all, surrounded on all sides. A few days later, an unexpected person calls me. It is Vivian. Her voice is no longer cold. It is full of exhaustion and rasp. Damian, I lost. This is the first thing she says. I am calling you, not to ask for mercy. I just want to ask one question. If back then I had not broken the engagement, would you have? No. I cut her off without hesitation. Vivian, you never once stepped into my world. And you never could, because you never understood me. What you saw was only what you assumed. What you liked was only the strong man you imagined. And from the very beginning, all I ever wanted was to be an ordinary man cooking for the person he loves. A long silence on the other end of the line. Finally, just a soft sigh, the sound of a heart breaking. I understand. I hang up. I know this woman will never come to bother me again in this life. Maybe she will rebuild her business empire in her own way. But her world will always be missing a piece called happiness. And I have long since found mine. I turn off my phone and walk back into the kitchen. Lily is wearing the cute teddy bear apron I bought her, humming a song, clumsily trying to fold dumplings. Flour smeared all over her face. Seeing me come in, she breaks into a huge smile. Lazy landlord, come help! The head of your royal kitchen wants 3 delicacy dumplings today. Sunlight pours in through the window, lighting up her lovely face, so warm and beautiful. I walk over and hug her from behind. I kiss her flour-dusted nose. Yes, my queen. Wealth, power, revenge. None of it matters anymore in this moment. I only want to hold this girl in front of me, to cook for her for the rest of my life, to watch her smile for the rest of my life. One life reborn. I used 200 million to buy myself out of the past, and I never imagined that what I would win in the end is the whole world. A world with Lily in it,